G'day and welcome back to another video. Today, because Joa, you requested that we talk a little bit more about lighting and mood when it comes to filmmaking and photography. Now, this is a great subject, hands down, and I'm pretty stoked to be able to talk about it. Now, I'm going to be using videos that I have produced and talk just as an introductory into mood and emotion when creating a motion picture. Motion picture, music video, advert, doesn't matter what it is. We're all talking about mood and emotion within the picture. And this is going from lighting techniques also to movement of the camera, etc., etc. So I'm going to jump into DaVinci Resolve here and talk a little bit more about, how, why, and what's the motivation behind lighting. Now, this is a music video. I'm not going to play this music video. You can actually check it out on my Vimeo or go to my website and have a look at my portfolio there. This is from a German artist called Marius Antonin Fleck. And this is a cover song done on a ukulele from I Fall to Pieces. But you can check that out on the website. This music video was shot here in Bur. Marius flew via Finland to come here to shoot the music video. And awesome, Marius. You're a freaking legend. Love working with you. Love making your content. Just letting you know that one. But talking about mood, emotion and feeling and how that is translated to the viewer. So you as an image creator, you have to look at your picture and go, what am I going for here? And this is something I wrote briefly with you, Joa, about that I want to have a little bit more of an understanding of mood and lighting techniques. Now here, I don't actually show you the lighting setup, and I can't find the behind the scenes photos, unfortunately, of this one, but I can explain it to you technically of exactly what I did here. This setup is pretty straightforward. You don't have to go to a lot of effort to be able to make a really nice deep picture. Now, what I mean by that is here, in this particular video, I shot this video with the Ursa Mini. This is just the 4K version, nothing outrageous. I shot this with the Ursa Mini, and the Ursa Mini is quite a renowned camera for having issues in shadows, but if you're to keep the overall exposure just off that noise floor, you can avoid those issues. So this is what I wanted to do, was creating enough exposure in the image, but still creating mood, and not underexposing, because that's what you want to avoid, but keeping the right amount of exposure. And this is a beautiful shot. So this is our subject here, Marius. He's sitting on the chair. He's actually sitting in my kitchen. This is my kitchen, and this is a calendar of when it was. So it was in January 2020. So it's actually my calendar with my appointments and stuff on it, but it's a cool effect. So we have here this scene. So I want to talk about mood and lighting in this, and also a bit about the camera movement and how that enhances that feeling. So I don't have the music playing, but we can just have a look with the movement here. Let me go back just a little bit here. So I'll put it on full screen so you can see a little bit better. So we have slider action going on here, not complicated slider action. And it's just a real nice subtle push in, which just gives a really attention drawing motivation to the picture. So if I'm to go back here, we are dealing with a single light source situation here, and this is to create depth, and to create natural lighting feeling. So on the left hand here we have a big window, and I'm shooting 3 little Fresnel lights, the little caliber ones that I showed in a previous video. I have them up on some on a couple of light stands outside, and I have a shower curtain which I hammered a nail into the outside thing to diffuse that light. Because with LEDs, they come in real hard and they give real hard edges on the subject. So I wanted to give that real soft light, and then fill that room with that nice soft ambient light, and also give a nice key light on our subject here. So as we have a look here, you can see nice highlights. You've got these real nice soft shadows coming in here. I really love this shot. This is one of my favorite shots of 2020 that I got of Marius. And you can see here that we got a beautiful, nice light fall off. We got this nice triangle going on here on Marius's face. And overall, the image is quite moody, but not being super dark. The overall theme of this song is quite, not depressing, but it is a moody, it's a heartfelt song, so we wanted to get that across. The candles burning here are just to give depth, dimension, and also interest in the picture. So if I'm to jump out at that and actually have a look a little bit further on the clip, we go through here. So here's a little bit of a closer shot, and this is a great example to show off the lovely big soft light source and the details it gives to our subject here. So the camera movement, again, it's still in movement and it's still very subtle, and that's really the direction I wanted to go to. You can really see that there is a whole lot of depth and contrast and everything in this picture. This is a great example. I can't wait to shoot next music video that has this kind of like moodiness to it, because I'm looking forward to it. But as you can see here, we've got lovely little catch lights in the eyes here, and this is something that is desirable right across the board when working with music videos or any kind of videos, whether it's interview videos, whether it's a film. You want to give, in this particular sense here, I could have made it extra moody and made him not look in this direction, so that his eyes would be dark. But because there is like a little glimmer of hope, you know, adding that mood, it's nice to give a bit of life in the eyes. So the eyes here, they sparkle. Not there, but as he looks up, we see the life in the eyes here, and it's really like poetic. It's really lovely to see that, and it's really something that you go, okay, well, you know, this really adds to my picture. It adds to the believableness, and it also adds to the character that we're shooting here. Now, because the light is coming from this side, from left of frame in, where we're seeing that there is a nice fall off, and particularly within the shadow of Marius here, it's giving this kind of nice gradient as we go along, and there's little candles burning that do give a slight effect in the image, but it's very subtle. And also here where the candles are placed, they create depth, and they're light, and they're burning, and they're moving. It just creates interest and all this kind of stuff. But here we're talking about overall, if I'm to get a nice still, nice facial expression. But here we've got lovely fall off of light, this beautiful gradient, and I could have chosen to go a hard light, but you know, I don't know. For this particular scene, I felt it was right to give a nice soft light, because there is an intimacy, and there's a real intimacy when you listen to this track. Overall, great contrast, great roll off of the highlights. We're still getting a lot of interest, a lot of depth, and I just wanted to show off this little Rembrandt style lighting here. We've got a little bit of light coming on the cheek here. We've got a nice exposure, not overexposed. Everything is pretty moody. If we have a look at the histogram, it's on the lower end. Of course, like here, the highlights, there's nothing overexposed, and there's of course definitely nothing underexposed here as well. So overall, we've got a really nice exposed image, but still it's got a lot of mood, a lot of feeling to it. As the song goes along, we see angle change. So this is not the Ursa anymore. This is the cinema camera. This is the 2.5K. Again, beautiful roll off with shadows. I didn't put any other lights in this scene. I just had this one light source and just shot all the content that I could with this one, and it just provided some really beautiful images. Now here, this scene is the killer shot. As the day progressed, after we did our playing scenes, we wanted to get some of Marius kind of dictating somewhat. Now this is, in my professional opinion, a shot that people should really try and achieve to make good. And because this is, I don't know, it's really got such a lovely atmosphere to it. You've got this nice soft light coming in here. We're shooting into the shadows. We've got that triangle under the eye here. We've got the catch lights. We've got everything set up essentially for a great shot. We're shooting not directly flat on, but we're slightly off to an angle. You know, we're creating a lot of depth here. And here there is no camera movement. There is that emphasis on our character here. So we're kind of staring directly at him. We have the lights here giving off this kind of depth as well. We've got the fruit, we've got the ukulele, we've got all these elements in here, and I feel like that this overall shot has some fantastic mood. So, and then we jump back into a little bit more movement as the music plays on, and then we go up for another close-up. As I was saying about progressing over the day, the natural light started to dip a little bit, but that was perfect because we still were using the Fresnel lights to pump light into the room, but the overall atmosphere, the overall lightness in the room had disappeared a lot, so we were getting a lot more of a dramatic shot, a lot more contrast coming into the picture. So if we let it roll off a little bit more here. This is great. This is really fantastic. We have a nice roll off here. We've got these little candles that are creating interest. We've got some shadow going on here. There's some interestingness going on in the background. And here we're pretty much shooting straight on. I'm pretty sure I had a 50mm lens on this one, but I don't remember exactly. And this was a great shot. And this was super moody because he was saying something. He was engaging with the lyrics here. And again, you can watch the music video just to get that feeling going on. But I'm talking about mood in terms of the picture, the contrast, and all this kind of stuff. The background is lighter, giving a nice kind of frame for Marius here. We've got these warm candles giving some warmth in a little bit of these shadow areas here, and that's something interesting to look at. We've got that catch light again from that light source that's from the outside. Moody, amazing. So moving right along, this shot was a pretty cool shot, actually. I'm just going to let it roll. How do you feel about this shot? You know, what's the feeling you get from here? So here it's clearly ice. So there's a whole lot of ice in the shot. So I'm just gonna pause it just as he goes through the middle there. This is shot on a 135mm lens, just technically speaking, on the Blackmagic Cinema camera. And of course, overcast day in winter, super cold. This shot was something that I was really looking forward to shooting because I love this compressed image. I love shooting up into the clouds, and just this glassiness of the ice just gave off such an atmosphere and such depth and all this kind of stuff. And this is actually on a farmland just over on the other side, on the other farm over the road. And just after this shot, Marius slipped. He didn't hurt himself, thankfully, but he slipped at the end of this one. But he completed the shot and looks great. This shot is just about loneliness. This is about, you know, mood. It's like monotone. You've got this kind of blue grey atmosphere going on with the silhouette walking across the horizon, and just the way he's walking, you know, it's a little bit, you know, I don't know. He's going somewhere, but where? You know, he's up in the clouds. He's somewhere. You know, this is great for talking about mood, and this is something in music videos you have a lot of creative freedom here. And Marius came to me. He said, "Let's just make a music video," and we produced this in 2 days. And I thought, great. You know, Marius, excellent musician to work with, great character to take out into places like this, and let him be and interact, and also direct him to do these things while I set up the shot. And these are the types of moods, these are the types of feelings that I was going for. Now, luckily, because it was in the direction that he was going, the cloud was also going up. So there was a lot of things working with us at that time, and yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed this shot for mood and contrast, because it was really moody and broody. And again, just using an overcast day, no extra lights. I'm pretty sure the sunlight is coming from down back over that way, so, and it's going down, so it's coming into the later part of the day. But because of this overcastness and this soft light, you get this beautiful reflection on the ice over here. So it's about finding your place and your situation and using that to create that mood. And I think that really helps, you know, tell that story, particularly with music. You know, you want to try and complement the music with motion picture, as some of us do. And I feel that this was such a successful job and a great example for you guys to see some live examples, something that I've created that are moody, that are creating a certain mood. You don't feel happiness from this, do you? You don't feel, oh my God, joy and bliss and love and all this kind of stuff. You feel, oh, this is kind of cold and a bit lonely and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that is a good representation of that particular feeling. But, you know, if we're to have a look at a general exposure, everything is quite, you know, in the middle, right across the line, generally pretty well exposed, technically looking. As we go further on, we have another close-up, a bit of a dreamy shot here. This was a pretty bizarre one from my behalf, but yeah, that's how it is. Then, if we move it right along to the last shot, now this is the shot that is, for me, the most spectacular shot. 135 millimeter, keep it compressed, keep that background, you know, all exposed. Because of the overcast day, you're able to really push that lighting scenario to your advantage. Having a look at the parades here, nothing is beyond clipping, so everything is very well conformed here. And then we're having a look at our subject walking into the distance, and a little bit of slow motion going on there. And overall, this is like very high key lighting. You can see well into the distance. I'm pretty sure I was sitting at around 5.6 on this one, as our subject walked off into the distance. And then just talking about mood and emotion here, it really is like showing that there is an open road. There is some hope going on here, and this is sort of what the music kind of goes off into this beautiful crescendo, and the music and the emotion all feels off here, and you feel the loneliness, but there is this openness going on, that there is this positivity somewhat, and this is what this picture translates, and that's what I feel does the job in this picture. So we go to the last one here, and it's him walking out into the distance, and then there's the credits. So it's really up to the individual to go, hey, this is what I want to create, and this is how I want to create this mood. And music videos are a good way to help that develop with the mood and the style. Now, to be honest, with this music video, Marius came to me and he had an open book. So we had one day, which was the night that we sit down and ate dinner together to create something. And we just created this. We just went straight up, no massive pre-planning, and we just went out and shot in the snow and got pictures like this. We shot in the house for the playing scenes and also the singing scenes. It's a really simple directed video, but at the same time, I took a lot of care into shooting. I took a lot of care in the composition. I took a lot of care in where the sun was or how the overcast day. And luckily for me, with the mood of what I was going for here, everything just worked out. If it was like a happy poppy or different type of rap music video or something like this, it may work, of course. There's no one theme to one feeling. But particularly for this music video, I was able to achieve these really high quality pictures, really cinematic. Oh my God, don't kick me for that one. But really cinematic images that really match the mood. And that's just, I guess, the most important thing is to light with meaning, light with justification, and then within your means, like how are you going to achieve creating that light and that mood, and what can you add, or how simple can you work it. Sometimes it's nice to give yourself a little bit of a constraint and say, look, I'm only shooting with one light source. That's it. Boom. I don't have to do much more. I'm happy with this. It's great. And then you just work with that. And a lot of photographers, a lot of filmmakers, they often do it in that way. And I find myself complicating lighting situations sometimes, and then just restarting and then being happy with the most simplest option. Or sometimes, depending on the stylization of it all, it is nice to go with this very unreal kind of lighting. And that's just what it's all about. It's about experimenting. It's about going there not with like the overall knowing that this is how it's going to look, but assessing the situation when you're there and how it feels at the time when you're shooting it. And the great thing was, chronologically, with the sun going down and you're losing the light outside, we were able to create more depth within those pictures. From when they were first playing, they were quite light, but still with contrast. But then when it got further on into the picture, it got darker and deeper. And that's all about that mood. And that was working with that light coming down. Even though it wasn't totally planned and intended, it worked with that art direction. And I felt, hang on, let's get a few more shots like this, because now I'm looking at the picture and it's totally moody. So we need to get these shots now. And it was totally agreed from point to point to point, right up to when we were shooting outside shots. So here, like with that last shot, let me just go back into DaVinci. With that last shot, this beautiful wide open shot, during the day, and then opposed to the walking across the ice, a totally different feeling there. So there's so much that you can compact into a video. And just with really they're simple shots, a lot of locked off shots or very simple movement on the tripod, but still concentrating on what's being shot and how that fits into the video. So I think that's a good start to talking about mood and to talking about emotion and what fits in, and starting it off with a music video that I shot last year now. Oh my gosh, time flies. And what are the intentions behind them? And yeah, I think that's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Joa, thanks for shaking the tree on that one. I'm going to go through a little bit more depth in some of those videos about mood and lighting techniques, and specifically how we can go about directing some of these things. And what I'm also planning on doing is I have a couple of jobs coming up which are very focused on imagery, and there's a poetry job that I'm coming up. I'm going to share the storyboarding and the moods that we're going to go for there, and show some examples of how I set up a storyboard, how I go about communicating with my client with this to create the picture, and then I will do my best within the time means to do a time lapse of the setup of this video, and then maybe some walkthrough explanations of some scenes throughout the video, and just to show how you can really shape light and movement and all this kind of stuff, or not movement at all, just to really give that emphasis on the picture and the meaning of the overall message of that expression. And that's what it's about, expression. Do you want it to be whatever you want it to be? You make it how you want it. And there's wonderful millions of tips and I'm going to try and share with you everything that I know and understand with you guys. So that's it from me now. I produced a lot of content today. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Hooroo.